welcome back to another episode of Delusional Sports. I'm Fast the Undrafted, here with Jake, Chin, Z, and Flash. Unfortunately, tonight, Ricky is out at Lambeau Field measuring how short that first down was. Which actually, really quick, I do want to talk about that. Hate to go off script, but did anybody think it was a first down?
No.
Yeah, it was a first down by a couple yards.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Of course,
I mean, according to the NFL, it's a first down.
It was upon further review.
Yeah,
they reviewed it twice.
Okay, all right.
I wasn't seeing it.
Yeah, I didn't either. All right. Our first topic of the day was the Titans upset the Ravens. Were the Ravens rusty or just nervous? Chin.
I think it was a little bit of both, rusty and nervous. I know the Ravens went last year to the playoffs, but sitting for 2 weeks definitely didn't help the Ravens' case, in my opinion, just because they're a young team. And a young team, they just need to stay in rhythm. So having 2 weeks off, it's really hard. It's really hard to emulate a game having 2 weeks off. It is good for a lot of the older teams that's been to the playoffs a lot, like the Packers, which we'll talk about later. But in the Ravens, sitting 2 weeks, it really just didn't help them, in my opinion.
Okay. Jake?
Yeah, I mean, I have to agree. It's a little bit of both. A lot of their players are young, haven't been in the spotlight before, and, that, as much as people want to say, they've been playing big games their whole life, there's a difference between, big state championship games, big college games, and NFL. And they need more weapons, I think, around Lamar. He's got a good rookie receiver in Brown and some decent tight ends, but when he scrambles around for 10, 15 seconds in the pocket and can't find anyone, that's an issue. And, sitting for 2 weeks, like Christian just said, you lose that rhythm and you don't have that.
True. Flash.
Yeah, it was both, but I put mostly nervous just because the fact, they had 12 people make the Pro Bowl. They had a lot of people new come on the scene this year. A lot of people may have knew of but never really heard they could be big name guys, but they proved that they were this year. And all of a sudden they're put on this big spotlight. They played primetime games. But now all of a sudden all the pressure's on them, and they're the number one. They should win big in this game, and they should win big in the next game, make it to the Super Bowl. And I just think all that pressure just kind of got to everybody and made them choke a little bit.
True.
I disagree with Flash. I think it's more rusty. When you're that hot, but then you have to take a 2 week break, your fundamentals go down because you're not continuously playing. The receivers were dropping balls, and the defense just didn't look game ready. They had to have known the scout, but they didn't look like they were ready to tackle Derrick Henry. I mean, it's a tall task, but still, they looked kind of scared out there. Which, I think if they would have played a game last week, they would have still been fired up and ready to go. But they seemed a little disinterested in tackling him.
Right. So you guys think that they should have tanked so that they could have played in a lower seed game? Because it's the right.
I just think it would be more. They would have a better advantage just playing all the way through, just because of how young they are. Now, if it was Tom Brady and his type of team, if you're an older guy and he's been there 1,000 times, you would want that rest because you've been there. You've been through so many games, but just having those 2 weeks off gives you that little step back. And and especially with the young quarterback, young receivers, it's really hard to emulate what you've been doing all season.
Well, and it's also tough. It's also tough. The Titans are a terrible matchup because they run the ball first. So not only are you trying to find your rhythm for basically the first half of the game, you can't get on the field because they're just dominating possession and just running the ball down your throat and chewing clock. It's hard enough to get into a rhythm when that's happening, and then when you've had 2 weeks off.
Right.
That's even double hard to get in a rhythm.
Right. All right, and also the Chiefs had a glorious comeback after the first quarter. I want to hear what Flash has to say about that.
So I'd like to, after we got down 24-0, I didn't necessarily give up, but my hope was down. It was kind of gone. But it was the weird thing, for some reason, after McCole Hardman had a 56-yard kickoff return, even when we had 0 points still, I thought, I was okay, maybe that can get us going. And we scored 3 touchdowns within 3 minutes. And I was kind of just oh shoot. and Mahomes was getting fired up. That dude sprinted 60 yards downfield the other way after a rushing touchdown by his running back, and he was hyped. Kelsey was getting hyped after little 3-yard gains, and I just thought, here we go. But I was a little worried coming out of the second half because we're famous for doing that, taking the momentum in the first half and then choking in the second half. But I don't know, saw it differently, and we somehow, we outscored them, 51-7?
Right.
Since they went up 24-0. I honestly see it more of a choke job for the Texans, to be quite honest.
Right. All right, so are the Chiefs the favorite coming out of the AFC this year, Jake?
I mean, I think so. They kind of had the same issue as the Ravens. Like, they were rusty, I think, a little bit coming out of the gate.
Yep.
And then once they found their stride, that's when they just exploded. And with this offense, I mean, you know, no lead safe. I don't care who you are. The Titans have a little bit better chance because I think they're going to be smarter with their play calls and clock management than the Texans were. But with Patrick Mahomes on the field, I really don't have any reason to worry. Like, I haven't worried about this team all year.
Yep.
Right. Z?
Yeah, I mean, the Chiefs looked like they were just dominant once everything started coming together.
Yeah.
But all that being said, it doesn't matter. They're about to run headfirst into a train and get ran over by Derrick Henry. They have not been that good against the run. So, I mean, as well as the Chiefs will score, Titans are going to control the ball game, and so they're not going to be able to tackle them 30, 40 times a game. Yeah.
All right. Chip,
Yeah.
what's your take on that?
Yeah, I think they are the favorites coming out of the AFC. They definitely have firepower to get out deficits, like we just seen. Crazy game, crazy comeback. A lot of people didn't see that coming. Usually the Chiefs are on the other end of that,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
to see that is kind of cool for the Chiefs. But yeah, I do think that they, regardless of how well they control the clock, like the fact that the Chiefs can get on and score touchdowns in seconds, 3 touchdowns in 3 minutes, it is a momentum game in my opinion. So as soon as Tennessee might control the ball for one half, but as soon as that other half, I can just see the Chiefs lighting it up. And it really is hard to control game clock when the other team has momentum.
Right.
So.
Yep.
All right. So you think the Chiefs?
I do believe they when they're at home.
Are they going to run out of fireworks
Tennessee.
again? Are they going to run out of fireworks again?
Fireworks.
Yeah.
Well, they would have to release someone in order for them to run out again. So.
Okay. That's good. All right. So who's your favorite coming out of the NFC between the 49ers and the Packers?
I like the 49ers. The reason being is they have a more complete roster. The Packers did look shaky against Seattle. They controlled the first half, but going into the second half, they let Seattle come back. And as we've seen, the 49ers can win shootouts if that's the route the Packers want to go, as they beat the Saints earlier this year. And the Packers just won't handle the 49ers pass rush.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. Z, what do you have to say?
I mean, I could go either way on this, but it's either going to be 49ers by 2 touchdowns or Packers barely pulling it out with a field goal. I have pros for each team, like Aaron Rodgers and his team being there doing that. And the 49ers, they have the better overall team, I believe. They have the better defense and better all-around run game. I mean, Aaron Jones is better than any running back they have.
But they got a bunch of guys.
Right. They have multiple guys that do different things for them back there. So I'm just going to go ahead and say that the 49ers win by a couple touchdowns.
Okay. Jake?
I also have the 49ers. I just think they have the perfect balance of youth and experience. And I don't like to say it because I'm an Aaron Rodgers fan, but he's kind of in that Tom Brady territory this year. I mean, he's struggling to get to 200 yards a game. He's throwing maybe 1 or 2 touchdowns a game. And with their youthful and just dominant defensive line, he's going to be running around and having to exert energy, and I just don't know if he can do that efficiently for 4 quarters. So they're going to have to, rely a lot on Jones in the run game. And that defense for the 49ers just wears you down. And they have enough weapons and, stability on offense and good play calling that they should be fine. And I just see them, I don't think it's going to be a blowout on the scoreboard, but I don't think it's ever truly close. I think it's a 10, 14-point game.
Right. Flash.
Yeah, I'm gonna be the odd one out here. I'm gonna take the Packers coming out of this game, just for the simple fact, Aaron Rodgers, like he said, he's in that Tom Brady era, and but like Tom Brady, he got old and he went out with a bang. I mean, he's not out yet, but like he won a couple titles at his old age, and I think Aaron Rodgers hasn't been in a championship game in a while, and we all know what he can do healthy into the playoffs, and I think this is the first time he's fully healthy in a long time. For some reason, and I do think Aaron Rodgers is going to struggle. He's going to have to find open guys. He's going to have to be creative. But for some reason, I just see them coming out, and I think they're going to surprise the 49ers with things that they haven't done all season. They went 13-3. They didn't really play a lot of tough games per se. Like they won a lot of their games by a big margin, and I think they're going to show the Niners some stuff that they haven't seen before, and I think they're going to come out with the win.
That's tough. Yeah, and I'll say it. I'll say it again. 49ers are going to the Super Bowl. I don't know if I can say enough. Really, so far, and something that nobody's mentioned is that nobody has an answer for George Kittle. And this dude is a monster. And
He didn't get in the end zone though this week.
okay, but like he was getting lots of targets.
Sorry.
What?
Nothing.
I just think.
And can we talk about how John Lynch is just out here playing Madden with the 49ers?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
he's picking up 5th-round tight ends that is one of the best tight ends in the league. I won't go any further than that.
Yeah.
But
Well, he built that whole team
He
around
built-
that D line.
built the D. He's drafting D linemen every first round, and then he's getting Jimmy Garoppolo for a 2nd-round pick. I mean, that's a Madden user's dream, honestly.
And you got like guys like Sherman out there still making plays.
Yeah, he's picking Sherman up.
Yeah,
on
everybody
the
thinks he's
corner.
washed up, and he's
Right.
out here making
Yeah.
key picks.
So
Right.
let's just talk about how John Lynch, the GM, is out here playing
Yeah.
Madden with this team. I'm just saying.
I mean, I think
Right.
they're the NFC's version of the Chiefs, like perfect balance of explosive players
Yeah.
and veterans. It's just on the opposite side of the
They
ball.
picked up Emmanuel
Yeah.
Sanders.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny.